What if you had the ability to unravel the mysteries of God's plans and understand the intricate workings of human destiny? Meet the sons of Issachar, a tribe of biblical experts who possessed an uncanny understanding of the times and seasons, allowing them to advise kings and leaders with unparalleled wisdom. This enigmatic group was known for their prophetic insights, astronomical knowledge, and political savvy. Join me as we delve into the fascinating story of the sons of Issachar and uncover the secrets of their remarkable abilities, a knowledge that can empower us to navigate the complexities of our own lives and times. To know the sons of Issachar, we must first know a little about their father, founder, and unique and sometimes complicated family history. According to the book of Genesis, Issachar's father was Jacob. Jacob was Isaac's son and Abraham's grandson. Issachar was also the fifth son of Leah, Jacob's first wife. Unfortunately, the Bible tells us that Jacob had little love or desire for Leah compared to her young sister Rachel, whom he cherished. Jacob had worked 7 years for her father Laban to win Rachel's hand in marriage. However, on their wedding night, Laban tricked Jacob into marrying his eldest daughter Leah instead. Even though Jacob had already consummated his marriage to Leah, apparently without realizing she wasn't Rachel, he made it known that he still wanted Rachel as his bride. Laban then promised Jacob Rachel if he worked another 7 years. Jacob agreed. As a result, Leah entered her marriage knowing her father had married her off to a man who neither loved nor even wanted her. To make matters worse, her new husband loved her younger sister instead. However, the Bible tells us that God saw Leah and decided to bless her with many children, while Rachel remained childless. Genesis 29 verse 31. Unfortunately, Leah believed she would finally win her husband's love by bearing Jacob's sons, as seen in her attitude when she had her first 3 sons, Reuben, Simeon, and Levi. However, by the time Leah gave birth to Judah, her 4th son, she had abandoned this hope altogether. With the birth of Judah, a son whose lineage would play a pivotal role in the future of Israel and the birth of its Messiah, Leah praised the Lord instead. At this time, Leah stopped bearing children. However, that did not stop a childless Rachel from resenting her sister and taking matters into her own hands. Rachel then gave Jacob her servant Bilhah to sleep with. She then conceived and bore Jacob 2 additional sons, Dan and Naphtali. Here, Rachel celebrated, or rather gloated, saying, "I have had a great struggle with my sister, and I have won." Not one to be outdone by her older sister again, Leah decided to keep the sister rivalry going by giving Jacob her servant, Zilpah, to sleep with. Zilpah then gave birth to 2 sons, Gad and Asher. The family drama did not end there. The strange events that followed directly led to the birth of Issachar. In Genesis 30, we read that Jacob and Leah's oldest son, Reuben, had found some mandrake plants during the harvest, which he brought to his mother. Rachel then asked her sister for some, to which Leah responded, "Wasn't it enough that you took away my husband? Will you take my son's mandrakes too?" Rachel begrudgingly agreed to let Leah have Jacob for the night in exchange for some of Reuben's mandrakes. I think we all know what happened next. Soon after Leah slept with Jacob, she conceived again, giving birth to a 5th son, who she named Issachar, meaning reward or hired workman. Not much is known about Issachar or what kind of man he grew up to become. As the 9th son with 8 older brothers, it makes sense that his older siblings would have often overlooked or overshadowed Issachar. However, we know that Issachar, like almost all of his brothers, resented his young brother Joseph, the favored son of Jacob and Rachel. We also know that Issachar was later involved in the plot to sell Joseph into slavery. He would travel with his brothers to Egypt to secure grain for their family during a famine. Like his father and brothers, Issachar would move his family to Egypt shortly after reconciling with Joseph. In the account of those who traveled to Egypt, we find that Issachar had 4 sons, Tola, Puvah, Iab, and Shimron. These would be the immediate sons of Issachar, who would carry on the family lineage. On Jacob's deathbed, Israel delivered parting and prophetic words to each of his sons. He had this to say to Issachar, "Issachar is a strong donkey, lying down between the sheepfolds." When he saw that a resting place was good and that the land was pleasant, he bowed his shoulder to carry burdens and became a slave at forced labor. What exactly this means isn't fully known. However, Renowned commentator Matthew Henry notes that the sons of Issachar would eventually inhabit a more rural, agricultural region of the Promised Land. They were inclined to labor and patiently carrying the burden of its brothers. So, how did the sons of Issachar help David become king of Israel? Following the deaths of King Saul and his son Jonathan, David of the tribe of Judah became the next king of Israel. Initially, he ruled only a few tribes from the city of Hebron, 1 Samuel 31. However, before David became king at Hebron, various sons of Israel and the leaders of several tribes gradually began to defect to him while he and his mighty men were at Ziklag. In most cases, the men who rallied to David were men of war. However, a small group of 200 chiefs from the tribe of Issachar and the kinsmen under their command came to David. They were men who understood the times, with knowledge of what Israel should do. 1 Chronicles 12 verse 32. In a practical sense, the more industrious and agrarian sons of Issachar would have been discerning in their ability to read the weather, understand soil conditions, and help cultivate a successful harvest. These farmers, serving as agricultural advisors in the new king's cabinet, would have generations of wisdom to offer the nation and its new king. In a more political sense, the sons of Issachar may have developed an eye for the times as well, discerning that David was the rightful and inevitable king of Israel and therefore worth supporting, if not publicly, then gradually at the onset. Furthermore, Henry concludes that the men of Issachar dealt mostly in country business and did not much intermeddle in public affairs, which gave them an opportunity of observing others and conversing with themselves. Accordingly, a stander-by sees sometimes more than a gamester. In fact, in previous generations, the princes of Issachar had proven their ability to stand behind Israel's great leaders, as they had famously supported Deborah and Barak in their fight against the king of Canaan. Over time, the sons of Issachar may have grown adept at living in the shadow of their more outspoken brothers. But in doing so, they had learned to labor quietly, patiently observing the situation and discerning the right course of action from their quiet life in the country.